We're off. Whew. Morning. Right, so I'm going to put some focus on a lot of core work today, hip work, and let's see how we get on. So equipment today will be a block and a band, or a circle loop. So we'll tie the band in a knot at some point. So we will address the whole spine. We will keep coming back to posture. Let's connect with that breath again today. So as a rule of thumb, it's exhale on exertion. That's when we say it's a rule of thumb, there are a couple of situations where it's reverse breathing, and I normally instruct on that. Okay, ignore that. I rambled. Let's get going. Feet in line with knees. So we start in that neutral, and I want you to rise up onto the ball and second toe. What? Annie, you might need to move your plant. So we're rising up. So this triggers balance when we rise up onto the ball and second toe. But it also helps us to get the spine into alignment. Now, let's just notice that spine. Where is it? Is it nice and tall, like a gold thread through the crown of the head, the shoulders back and down? Spread your weight through your toes. One knee bends, one hip moves. So we're just kind of just swinging out the knees, one side to the other. I always like this because I feel like I need that release out of the side and back of my hip. So just a bend of the knee and a swing of the hip side to side. Okay, so we'll just get going here. Both feet flat on the floor as you move through this, okay? Now we switch that up. Now we're going to ask for a heel lift and a hip swing. Two things. Bracing through the center. So we're thinking good form right the way through, but just a lovely sort of sideways swing of the hips. Okie dokie. Now staggered stance, right foot further forward than the left. And I just want us to rock heel toe, up, down, up, down. Now, as you do that, think about your weight being in the middle. So literally between the front heel, back toe. Does that make sense? Right, so up and balance, hold it there. Stay there. So in that lovely staggered stance, you should be able to hold that for a good few moments. Switch, other foot. Rise and lower, rise and lower. So this movement is just sending those cues to your core muscles to wake up. Going, hello back, hello hips. Let's just get you going. Let's talk to that pelvic floor and now to the diaphragm. Okay, so we slide the hand down towards the knee right side. That's the breath in. Breath out. Diaphragm is now start talking. Lowering down, breath in, breath out. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift. Now, this time, right hand back of right knee, left hand front of left knee. So let's repeat that one or two more times that side. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift. And that's simply because we're just trying to get those contractions to start work around those core muscles. Reverse, front right, back left. This always, for me, it's a bit of a telltale. Am I feeling any sort of imbalances in the back? Just when I lateral one thing, but just like, what's going on in my back? And just trying to make sure that's working well. Okay, the other thing I'd like us to do now is a hip circle and a couple of steps. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, got it? Circle, step, back, back, circle, step. All this is doing is alternating, so we're not overwhelming anywhere. So this brings in balance straight away, and we're mobilizing the hip. Boom, boom, ba, ba, da, 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 da. Okay, now, what does it feel like to do the reverse? So we naturally went up, out, and down. How does it feel to go up and over, step, step, step? up and over, step, step, step. Boom, boom, boom. Up and over. 2 more, 1 each side. Okay, how does that feel? Do you like that? Yes or no? Bit of a weird one, right? Okay, now we're wide. Lovely and wide. Toes not forward, but just out into that diagonal a little bit. And I just want you to bend the knees side to side. We're lovely and upright. So you could go a little wider maybe. And here's the tip of the day. Push, push, tush backwards. So we start just bending the knee. So some of you might go, oh, I don't like that, start to put pressure on the knee. So we start to push the tush backwards. Got it? So what you should end up with is a stretch through the groin and actually a lovely stretch out the back of the hip. It just moves, this mat. It drives me nuts. Right, are we good? Okay, so we're going to stay wide. Chin to chest, roll down, knees soft, knuckles to ground. Breath in, breath out, rise up. So we're lovely and wide, which means actually it takes less stress in the back. Breath in, breath out, chin to chest, all the way to the bottom, inhaling, exhaling, rise into the top. Shoulders roll, arms come up, high V. So wide legs, high V. Bring the arms down, breath in, rolling out all the way to the bottom, nice and long. Straighten off those knees, rise up, high V. Less bend in the knees now, okay? Breath in, breath out, all the way down. Okay, now stay there, keep your hands towards the ground, bend the knees and rock side to side. I go through your thighs, so just stay with my words, nice and wide, feet positioning. We're bending the knees side to side and enjoying that lovely stretch into the groin. Okay, now, this time, right hand to left foot to right foot, left hand to right foot. So we're just having a little introducing a nice whole body stretch there as we go side to side. Now, you know your body, you might just want to go a little bit longer and pause. You might want to straighten off your legs a little bit. Or you just might want to just dangle in space. Okay. From here, right hand into your center, onto the floor. Twist and look over your left shoulder. If you want to, you can bring up your left hand. Bring it down. Left hand replaces right in the center of your mat. Right hand to ceiling. That nice. Let's do that one more time each side. If you want to make it bigger, try and get your eyes on your fingers that are in the center of your pose. Switch hands, repeat other side. Lovely, lovely. Bring your hands down. Bring your knees to the floor. And we're just going to kneel for a second and enjoy the stretch through the front of your thigh. Okay. So I'm bringing in the block already. So if you can just watch for a second, you might need to switch cameras. Okay, so just watch for a second. Okay, so I'm kneeling, my left knee is on the block. Now I want you to have a look at my booty. So I'm going to lift up and lower down. Can you see that? Let's see if you can. Right, so with my head down, you can see that, right? So when you do this, your thighs stay close. You're not cocking your leg. So you pull up and down and up and down. So your left knee's on the block, your right thigh is sliding upwards and downwards, your right hip will go higher than your left hip. Keep both hands equal and balanced on the mat. So this was always an interesting one for me personally. After my hip surgeries, in fact, before my hip surgeries, I couldn't do this at all. Keep your weight equal through both hands. So you might notice you're overcompensating and putting a lot of pressure into one hand. So we don't want you to do that. Try and keep your hands nice and equal. And then kneel off the block. Switch sides. It's weird, isn't it? Right, on this side, same thing. So lifting up and down. My body just doesn't enjoy this, but it's a bit like eating cabbage. I don't enjoy it, but I know it's good for me. Lovely. Who feels that quite a challenge? Bit sticky in the hip, may be a bit uncomfortable around the groin as well for some, but it's a really nice reset exercise that we do. Lovely jubbly. Well done, girls. Okay, so from there, I've just turned my block around because I'm going to put my kneecaps on this block. And the reason being, I'm curling my toes underneath my heels. Both knees are on my block. I'm bringing myself into a box position, pulling in. So I'm pulling in through my belly, got lovely neutral alignment there with my spine. So my back is really taking the load. And now I'm pressing into my toes and lifting my knees off the block entirely for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, knees down, relax the toes, sit back, leave your knees on that block and enjoy. I want you to put your chest as close to your thighs as possible. So you're going to kind of like bunch into a ball, then stretch your arms out forward. Okay. Back onto that block, but this time you're going to come down onto your forearms, toes curled under heels. So we've just changed your angles up a little bit. Breath in, breath out, float those knees again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, knees down, squish everything onto your thighs. So really cut in there. And then when you're ready, so you're in that lovely ball, stretch your arms forward. Lovely. I love it because I'm like, they must think she's off on one again this morning. Okay, and the answer is yes, I am. Okay, right. We don't like the hip stuff, particularly the side hip stuff. It freaks us out a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start like this. Top, I'm going to come forward because I'm a very tall person, don't you know? Okay, so we're in the top third of the mat. We're going to extend your right leg. Now, hopefully, knee, hip, shoulder should be aligned. Then we bring up your arms, fingers to temples, and then we're just going to lean right the way over as far as we can. Breath in, pull back up, okay? Got it? So we're lowering and lifting. Inhaling. Trish, could I ask you to put the cool on? Thank you. Okay, now here's the modification. Down, stop, open arms, close arms, pull up. Down, stop, open arms, close arms, stop. Anyone feel that? So all of your core is working, your hip on the outside is going, hello. Okay, stay there. Bring your hand down onto the floor. So if you find that's a bit of a journey, could try being on your knuckles. Okay, so that sets your positioning. Now we're going to lift the top leg. So 8, 7, 6, nice and high, 5, 4, 3, 2, last time. Well done. Okay, so from there, bring your hand to your hip. Okay. And now we're just going to push high. 8, 7, it's a small movement. 6, 5, and it's a prep movement. 3, 2, 1. Finger to temple, elbow to wrist, and up again. So all the way down to wrist and up. Lower and lift, lower, lift. 4, 3, 2, last time, and then release. Whew. Got it? We're good? Other side. Right. So we're scooching to the top third of the other side of the mat. Extend the leg. Okay, and when you're ready, fingers to temples, we lower, and then we lift. Lower and lift. Well done. Inhaling, exhaling. So you keep going. We're working the obliques. So the attachments, the muscles in the waist are attaching to the hips. So it's all really powerful and important stuff here. Okay, got that? Lovely. Okay, down and stay down. So again, on your hand or on your knuckles, you prefer. It's really up to you. Okay, and then we go, remember that? So we've got 8 kicks. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You right there? 2. Are we okay? Can you just have a little check? Everyone's okay. And then release. Sue's all right? Okay, lovely. So from here now, just a small pulse. 8, 7, 6. It's a wiggle jiggle. It feels a bit weird, this one. 3, 2. Finger to temple. Elbow to wrist. And open. Turns out I don't like this side. So elbow to wrist and open. So there's a lot of rotation required here. Quite a lot of stretching and pulling that's coming out of the hip here. Beautiful. Lovely. And then release. That was lush, yeah. I love that. Oh. I think of there's so much that goes through my mind. I wish it wouldn't sometimes. There's a lot that goes through my mind, and if only we knew today what we knew 20 years ago in the fitness industry, I think we would have been very different people. Shoulders and hips. So we are going to sit 90-90. Can you see that okay? Right, and the idea is we're perched. So this is my favorite side to perch on, not so good on the other side. Okay, what I'm looking for is a rotation with your arm. So we're rotating into the direction that our feet are pointing. And to do this well, what I need us to do is take that band and just pop it under the foot, the front middle foot. Does that make sense? Middle, you got it. Okay, so if you just watch, let's just practice with direction. So a couple of things here. If the resistance on the band is too intense, just work on the movement, because I'm not quite sure how we all are here, but the idea is we're twisting into that side. Now you're going to feel it in the most bizarre places too. So let's have a look. Let's just grow it. So we'll start with holding, so you've got strong wrist strength here. So holding almost with the thumb pointing downwards, okay? And then keep, if you can, a straight wrist. Lovely. So the idea is tension on, so wrist in line with shoulder, and then pull back, center down, turn off, turn on, and rotate. Now my left hand instinctively touches my inside left knee, for some additional resistance here. So I'm pushing down on the left side, which really turns on the muscles. Now I feel like I can do more here, so I'm going to add on. So it's a stretch and I'm fully extending that band. Now I talked then about turn off, turn on. So turn off, everything relax, turn on, set. There's your start up, your prep position, and then we move away. It might be that you stay with your elbow. Either way, I want you to put your mind on your back fat. So think, she's like, really? She says back fat. I want you to think about the muscles in underneath your shoulder blades. So this is a really cracking one for you there, Sue. Lovely resistance here. Right, the whole body's involved with this twist. Okay, now up and hold and punch. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. What was all that about? Okay, so from there, we're going to swivel around, bring your feet over to the next side. So again, 90-90 at your knees and settle into that position. Have your band nearby, but the prep again, pressure down into your right side, right hand, right knee, and we're just twisting back. Again, notice how that feels, the difference between side 1 and side 2. Okay, so when you're ready, thumb down, just squeeze back with the elbow. I'm thinking about like my bra fat. That's where I'm targeting as I'm pinching back. I'm not going for switch off. So I'm just staying switched on. So I feel strong and engaged. This is my weaker side. My hip doesn't like this, but just like cabbage, I'll eat it because I know it's good for me. I don't have to like it. Okay, now let's have a look at that extension, and that should feel different. Ah, isn't that nice today? Oh. Now I'm hoping you're getting tired. That's what I'm looking for and feeling. Last time, up and punch. 8, 7, nice and tall through your spine. 4, 3, 2, and release. Well done. How are we? Let's bring those feet forward. Just give them a shaky, shaky. Let's bring that block back in. We're going to sit on that block. Okay. Just feels really weird. There you go. All right. Okay. So feet wide, but not the widest. And just for a moment, and do a comparison. So just for a moment, try and turn your toes inwards and then outwards. You might want to close your eyes to really feel this. I want to encourage you to bring the inside seams of your feet onto the floor. The same for your outside edges. Again, I do recognize that this is not always possible. So what are your knees doing? You're elevated onto the block to make this easier and actually more comfortable. Is there anything going on in the hip? How's the bottom feeling? Do you notice one side feels tighter than the other? This is your internal toes in, internal hip rotation, but I'm noticing I'm flexing at my knees. External hip rotation, toes turn out. I'm feeling that one knee wants to lift more than the other. Try one side on its own. So this is mobility stuff, really important. Lovely. And then shaky, 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 shaky. Now what I want us to do is just go nice and tall and long through the spine. Just sit tall. Relax your shoulders, lengthen your neck. Okay. So because you're elevated on that block, I just want you to bring your chest further forward. So it's almost like you're right on your sit bones. I always feel conscious. Now, you were all in the room for a long time with one of our male colleagues needs to always torment me. Do you remember about sitting bones? Do you remember that? Yeah. Okay. So nice and tall, nice and high, your weight is shifted forward. Now, again, with that lovely long spine, you may feel pull or stretch or just, I don't want discomfort, but you might feel this elongation going on through your spine. And this is simply gravity. So stay as tall as you can, stay perched nice and high. So you're forward on your pelvis. Okay. Now add in those toes in and out. Am I firing things at you today? I am, aren't I? It's all for love. It's all for love. Okay, and then relax your ankles. Now this time, we're just going to just walk those hands slightly further forward, collapse into your belly button, relax and C-shape your shoulders. Eye gaze towards the floor and just see if we can just slide forward a little bit. So this is more of a thoracic spine flex. Lovely, lovely. Sit up, give yourself a moment. So again, with all that work, you do feel, even though it feels quite subtle, you do feel quite a lot of pressure in the top of your hip flexors. So if you want to just give yourself a little break, knee rest, feel free. So what I'd like to do is work a little bit on thoracic extension. Okay, so we've done thoracic flexion, chin to chest here, right? Now we need to think about how do we go back? Okay, and here's a little tip. So we're going to start with the band on your feet and then point your toes. So the band is on the arch of your feet, then you point your toes. If you go for a flat foot, you're in danger of the whole thing flipping off. So it's important to have a pointed toe. Okay, now what I'm going to do is work with my thumbs up. Oh, cramp straight away. Okay, and what I'm looking for is neutral spine, arms lift, and now I want you to think about curling from the bottom of the ribs, resetting. Can you see that? So it's almost like there's three parts to it. So I'm pulling up towards the sky, and then I'm looking up and I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and then I'm resetting. Now, I'm hoping that you're going to cry a little bit and go, she's in a really bad mood today. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll notice on the lean back, you might feel pressure bearing down. So think about the pelvic floor, think about the bladder. So when you're leaning back and looking up, there's a lot of force on that front fascia of the body. So really sit with that lovely. Think about squeezing those shoulder blades together, really going for it. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Who knew? And you get this beautiful stretch out the front, which is really exciting. And again, if it's all too much with the band, don't use the band. So are you all right? Everyone good? Yeah, beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Pauline, you okay? Good. Okay. Well, we might as well stay here now, though we're here and we're still perched on our block. So I'd like us to bend the knees. Now with more of a flexed foot than a pointed toe, more of a flexed foot, and your arms set nice and wide. We're going to C-shape the spine, twist and open, reset, and then come back up. So we lean and hinge, open and twist, reset the arms, pull back up. I did that twice on the same side. Okay, 4 times one side. Twist and reset. Now it's almost like, ta-da, you're opening your arms, pulling those shoulder blades together. Ta-da, lovely. Switch sides, here we go. Roll back and squeeze together. Oh, man. Beautiful. You've got one more on this side. And then finally, we get to have a little lie down. Release your band. Move off that block. Get rid of that for a moment. Scoot your bum down your mat and then lie down with a bent knee, feet wide. Okay. Right. Give yourself a moment, feet nice and wide, nice and wide. Drop both knees to one side and then to the other. Both knees going in the same direction. Now, what you're going to get here, lovelies, you right there? Yeah, she's got me. What you're going to get here is a nice stretch out of the hips. So here's the tip. The higher your heels are towards your bottom with your feet nice and wide, the more you're going to get to stretch from the knee up the quad, into the hip and into your psoas. There you go. There's the angle that triggers my vertigo. There it is, lying on my side looking at the camera. It's just that moment. It's just that cautionary, it's having a word with me. Lovely. It's fine, it's past, but it just likes to have a word. Okay. But again, lingering in this position, you really get some strong beneficial stretches. And to reinforce that, we're going to come back, feet together, heels close to bottom. And I'd like us just to take the arms overhead. And for a moment, just drop your knees out wide. Now, this pose is used in yoga and Pilates. The way I see this helps us to reconnect with what's going on in the pelvic floor. So whilst your knees are wide, oh yeah, that's a real life experience, isn't it? When you go and have a little check at the GP and they go, relax and drop your knees. And you go, and then eventually you relax and drop your knees, and that actually turns off your pelvic floor. So you kind of go, oh, okay, got it with me, connected with that thought. Okay, and the reason being, keep the soles of your feet together. I just want you to really focus on relaxing down the bowel, relaxing down the blood, just really switch it off. Okay, now I want you to think about, where do you connect first? So think about pulling everything inward, upward, and you can feel that tension sort of rising inwardly and then up around the front of the pubic bone and up on the surface towards your belly button. So everything is just coming in nice and tight. Okay, now our fingers are at our temples. In fact, our thumbs are at our temples, our fingers around the back of the skull. What was that? Take a breath in, exhale, chin to chest, and we're going to lift up. Now, you guys, having your hands at your head is a good way to do this, because it really helps us to focus what's going on with the abdominals, okay? So it feels a bit weird, and the first few might go, ooh, 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 and then you'll settle, okay? Now, up and hold, send your hands forward, and we're going to pulse. 8, 7, connect with your pelvic floor. 4, 3, 2, and release. Good job. Okay. So now this time, both hands towards your left side. 8, 7. More things have to work to do this, right? So it's a reach and a twist. 3, 2, 1. Come down, switch sides, breath in, breath out, and pulse. 7, other side, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and release. Both hands in front of you, between your thighs. 8, 7, shoulder blades off the ground. 4, 3, 2, and release. Good, good, good. Bring your feet together, extend your legs. I know. Felt good, didn't it? Extend your legs. Cross left over right. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of neck pull. So I want you to focus on squeezing your thighs together. Your left foot is crossed over your right, hands at your sides. Take a breath in, exhale, try and see if you can come up. Lowering down, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Exhaling as you lift, lifting the shoulder blades off the ground. Now try and keep your heels down for now. Third time, lift and look down towards your pedicure and down. Now let's see if we can lift the heel too, using the power from your center. Breath in, exhale, lift, 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 lift. Lower, 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 lower. Well, that's a surprise. Two more. Exhale. Okay, so the knees are crossed deliberately. So this really helps us to focus and uncross. Recross right over left. This might feel slightly different. Okay, the first three, chin to chest, lift up and lower. Lift up. Lift up. Now for the last three, we lift everything. Well done. Full body stretch. I don't know about you, but I caught that. I felt that in my ribs. That was nice. That was nice. Okay, full stretch. Feet back close to the bottom, feet in neutral. Let's just have a look at some pelvic tilts here for a moment. Well done. Now let's roll up into a bridge. Stay up there. Now, if you want to, you can pop your thumbs, hands, anything at your hip or underneath your bottom, because what we're going to do is just turn off one side at a time. So drop the left, squeeze both, drop the right, squeeze both. So drop and press, and drop and press. Do I need to change angles or can you see okay? Okay. Drop and press and drop and press. So do you remember when we were on all fours at the beginning and you knelt on one block and one hip was going hard than the other? That kind of thing. So it's all related, it's all hip stuff. But actually this should feel really quite nice. No, it does me. Okay, now we're going to go quicker. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Got it? Keep swinging. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Pop your bottom down, pull your knees into chest, and give yourself a moment. That felt nice. Circle the knees. It doesn't matter if your knees are close together or separated. Just feel the pleasure in that. Okay, while we're here, let's take one leg. So it could be off center. Either hold on to the arch or you can hold on to the outside of the foot. You choose, but it's just one leg. If you want to straighten off the other leg, feel free. And do whatever you have to do to make this feel nice and comfortable. What if we look to stretch the knee off? Can that be done? This is hamstring stuff. And it's not the back of the knee where the hamstring ends. It's kind of more around where the hamstring begins into the bottom and the hip. Now, what if you held on to that leg with the opposite hand? And just a gentle rock and assist in the movement. Feels nice too, right? Okay, now don't finish there. I want you to pull in the leg that was extended and that leg that you had in your hand. Just flex, pop the heel onto your thigh and just press that knee away for a minute. So physically assist, press in your hand into the inside of the knee or thigh. But if you want to, you can lift. So lift the leg off the floor. So the bottom leg, look off the floor. You can hold through the back of the thigh or onto the shin. Now, some of us don't like this at all. So I want you to go and assist. Use that leg and contract your core muscles. See if you can actually use the leg to pull in. So use the force from that leg to come in. If I don't know if any of that made sense. It did in my head. It didn't when it was coming out my mouth. Okay, foot down. Now we haven't finished. What I'd like us to do, if you can see me, so we've still got that foot rested on the thigh, bring everything down onto the other side. So you may feel this in your back a little, hopefully not. Keep your shoulders down and your knee pointing up towards the ceiling. If you want to, and you figure out where you are in the world, your left hand can hold on to your right foot. I think it's called 4. Is that what this is called? Might be. Okay, release, relax. I'm not yourself. And we're going to try and repeat all of that on the other side, which would be fun because I can't remember. Ooh, vertigo. Right, so we start with, so that was on my left, now I'm on my right. I'm going to take my leg up towards the ceiling. I'm holding on to the arch. Use your band to assist if you need to. So onto the arch, you might prefer to be holding on to the outside of the foot. Really is a question of preference. Holding it there, create some movement. I like movement when we do any kind of stretch work. It feels like it's less stressful on my joints. So a little bit of dynamic movement. Oh, there it is again. Been on the floor too long, girls. Okay, so from here, what if you had a little place, if you can stretch off that leg, see if you can straighten off the knee, which I can't do anymore. Oh my God. Okay. I just don't like it. My knee does not like that. Okay, and what if you used your opposite hand on that leg to increase your stretch and keep moving, because then you get the stretch in your ribs and your armpit as well. Well done. Okay, and when you're ready, bring that foot onto the opposite thigh. Keep it there. So hold on to it or hold on to the ankle. Right hand pushes the right knee away. That bit's important. So you're assisting that movement. It's not just what's going on in the groin. You may feel this in your lumbar. So you might feel bubbles in your back when you do this. But it is important. The whole hip joint is affected when you do this. Now, if you want to be bold and you want to lift the leg off the floor, crack on. Again, holding on to the back of the thigh or indeed the shin bone. Again, I found with aging that I don't like to do that because it hurts my fingertips trying to grab my leg. So it's finding the thing that makes you feel comfortable and confident in the movement. Okay. Little wiggle jiggles if you want to. Use the effort, use your core muscles to anchor, pull in your left thigh to your chest. And then when you're ready, take that whole thing onto the floor on the opposite side. So I'm working to get my foot down. And there's a combination of things going on here. I want my knee up to the ceiling, but also I want to hold on to the bottom leg. It's a bit of a fiddle, but holding on to right hand holds the left big toe. It's really stretching out the joints and recognizing one side feels always different to the other. It's a cruel world. When you're ready, release and unknot that Ah, lovely. Give yourself a moment. So from here, we are going to transition back onto all fours. So when you're ready, turn onto your side and then onto all fours for me. Okay. So think about dropping your belly and lifting your tail, lifting your chin, and add a wiggle jiggle. Now we're going to reverse it. Chin to chest, big rounded shoulders. Okay, now I like to stay in this position and move forwards and backwards. Really pushing the ground away so I actually feel the chest engagement here as well. And a lovely rounding out through my back and a stretch through my shoulder blades. Okay, then back into neutral. Got it? Curl toes, lift heels, lift knee. Curl toes, under heels, lift knees, press back, downward dog. Oh, there you go. I couldn't think of the sequence. Heels towards the floor. Now, stay here or march the heels. Or, and rock and look under each and alternating armpits. None of the above or all of the above. So you can find stillness in the movement, stillness or movement lower legs, and movement trunk, arms. All of it is about releasing. Okay, when you're ready, come forward into plank and hold, pushing the ground away, strong in the elbows, really pressing through the heels. Breath in, ripple back into down dog. Ripple forward, back into plank. God, we've come on a long way this year already, haven't we? Hold it there, breath in. Exhale, push back into plank. Rippling forward. Nice and strong. How are we doing? Reckon we got 2 more in us? Breath in, breath out, push back. Come forward into plank. Last time. Hold it there. Push back. Down dog. Walk those heels. I'm not sure if you feel happy with this. Take one hand away and sweep it through to hold on to the outside shin. Reset. Other side. Reset. Knees down. Bottom onto heels. God, that was a bit of a journey already today, wasn't it? Crikey. Okay. Okay. So either lie down or sit. Find the thing that makes you feel nice and comfortable. Right. And give yourself a moment. And just find some stillness here with your breathing. Rhythmic, controlled. Really important to get that breath in through the nostrils. And you are breathing out through the nostrils too, but it's more of a growl through the back of the throat. That piece is really important. So breathing in through the nostrils and feel the tongue. Notice how that feels on the opening of the back of the throat as you breathe out. Notice how your body's feeling. And notice any areas of tension or build up in your body as you settle into your relaxed position. Notice if you're sat, maybe there's tension still in the thigh and groin. Just let it go. If you're lying, there might be tension in your shoulder blades. Elongate through your neck and lengthen your shoulders. And to note that if you are lying and trying to relax and your back doesn't like it, take your feet wide, bend your knees, and that the knees rest in on each other as if they're tipping in to support each other. It turns off the muscles in your back. So it's a really nice way to relax there too. Now relax around the ankles. It's like stepping into a really beautiful warm bath, and you slowly put your feet in and you just feel that warmth slowly radiating up towards the knees, up towards the hips and thighs. Feeling that radiating up through the spine. And submerging yourself in that lovely warm water. Feel safe. Just feel just wrapped around you. But you equally feel lightness, buoyancy. Now with each breath in, you're breathing in the oxygen, filling the whole body so you stay even more buoyant. Breath out and feel yourself just sinking a little. Breathing in. Wrapping yourself around in happiness and love and kindness. Taking your attention to your extremities. Think about your fingers and toes and create movement in both fingers, both hands and both feet. Turning onto your side and slowly bringing yourself up into a seated position where we're just going to sit for a little longer. Keeping your eyes rested, your body relaxed, your breath really lovely, gentle, slowish rhythm to your breathing. Exhaling. Long breath in, long breath out. Arms out wide. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bring your hands together into a round of applause. Hands into chest. Well done. Boom, boom. Well done.